Quizlet is a tool that you've seen before. We used it in instructional strategies to post terms and definitions. The great thing about it is that it's free, of course, and extraordinarily versatile. You can use this in many different ways. You can allow students to join in and edit as you did, or you as the teacher can create Quizlets that are not editable by the students. But as you can see, you can open the Quizlets that you make on tablets and smartphones. So it's a great way for students to review information or to practice new information, and it doesn't always have to be terms and definitions. If you want to use Quizlet as one of the optional items, or the one optional item that you're required to add to your WebQuest, please do, but please make an account of your own and log into it. Don't use the account that you used for the instructional strategies course, please. So I'm just going to use my Google account to quickly sign in. And to add a new set, it's very easy. You just tell it that you want to create a set. Things are written in the guise of terms and definitions, but you can also make these sort of questions and answers. This is a perfectly fine interface, but there's a try the new create set interface, which is much easier and looks a little bit easier to follow. So I'm going to choose the check it out now button because I find this one a little easier to deal with. You need to give it a title, so we'll just say practice for WebQuest. You can give it a description. That always helps your students to understand what it is they're supposed to do there. And then you enter the terms or your questions and then the definitions on this side, or it might be answers. You need to nominate a language on each side. Just for grins, I'll just quickly type some nonsense in here, but you do have to put in at least 2 items to get it to actually create the set. The other thing that you can do is you can use these buttons to add an image. So that might be the way that you want to go. If you're making a Quizlet, it doesn't have to be lengthy. You could put in 4 or 5 items, and that would demonstrate that you know how to do it and that you can see how this can be effectively used for the WebQuest. Once you put your terms and definitions or questions and answers in, you make some decisions down here at the bottom. It defaults to visible to everyone. You want to leave it that way. You don't want to lock people out of it. And right now it's set to editable by just me. That's another good option to accept for the WebQuest Quizlet, because you want students to practice, or maybe your idea is that they're finding some definitions or learning about some items that they then have to post to Quizlet. So you could change the editable part from just me to people with a password, and then you provide the password for them to go into the Quizlet and add the information that you instruct them to add. So you could use it either way. So you have options here, but for me to be able to see it for grading purposes, you definitely need to leave this part set to everyone. And when you're done, you can hit create. Of course, you can come back and edit as many times as you need to. And here's the edit button that allows you to do that. There are the flashcards that you've, I hope, saw before. I hope you use those. There are little games here that the students can play. I'll let you explore on your own. You can get a shareable link, and this is the link that you would get to post into your WebQuest. Simply copy this very short URL. You just click on it to highlight it, make it blue, then you can right click and choose copy, and you're going to paste that in over in Zunal. You're going to add it just like it's a hyperlink. So let me demonstrate that next. So over here in Zunal, I can choose any page that I'd like to add the Quizlet to. I go down to the Add Resources button, and what I want to do is add a URL. So it says Add Website URL. Click the Add button, enter a title for it, paste in the URL. You can right click and paste, or use the keyboard shortcuts. Add a description if you want to, kind of directions for your students, and hit the Save button. Once you opt to continue, it takes a few seconds for it to pop in there, but there is the Quizlet exercise, so that when the students click on this, it will take them out to the Quizlet. Okay, so here's our Quizlet. We can play the games if we want to. So your students can practice in whatever way is right for them.